In my School of the Prophets, we talk about the 7 keys through the Hermetical principles or Hermeticism through the 7 covenants. They are there to teach us 7 keys that the prophets will learn in my School of Prophets, where we talk about through understanding the true interpretation. And that is done through physiological, astronomical, symbolic, theogonic, metrological, metaphysical, and then mystical, the 7th one. Now, we're reading here in Matthew, and on a tangent, I was talking about the seven anointings and how, in the physical realm, how we see the 7 anointings through the 7 liberal arts and the 7 sciences that govern man. We see a particular interesting thing here in the word here in Matthew, and that is, but when the grain had sprouted and produced crop, verse 26, Matthew 13, verse 26, but when the harvest, one translation says, when the harvest had sprouted, and produced the crop, then the tears appeared. The Hermetical principle that this deals with is the principle of polarity. Now, it's very interesting because we see the principle of polarity in the science of physics. They talk about that. So where there is matter, there also exists antimatter. In spirituality, it is understood that anything that is not balanced correctly is an abomination, meaning that it is out of the God nature. So because God is God, for everything that he creates, he always creates a polarity to it. Now, polarity is also seen through masculinity and femininity, but they're a bit different, because polarity is more so seen in the world of Caesar or in the physical dimension. So what polarity teaches us is that they are the same. The tears and the harvest, even though they're extremely different, they are the same. And this is why the master tells the servant who wants to get rid of the tears, he says, if you get rid of the tears, you'll get rid of your harvest. If you learn that the tears are the same as the harvest. Now, let me go into it and let me get into it. So when we understand the law of polarity deals with opposites. So this is where you come to the realization that love and hate are really the same vibrational emotion. It's just one is polarized in the opposite direction. This is why you can only hate something that you truly love, and you can only love something that if it's not done or if it's inverted, you can end up hating, because it is the same emotion. It is just the same vibration, but it's just on the opposite sphere. So what is the master teaching the servant in this scripture? Each parable storyline teaches a particular Hermetic law that one is to take after it. Jesus uses mythos or storytelling to be able to teach these higher principles so that people are able to understand this. He's teaching the servant that how you treat the polarizing aspect of that energy is how you will treat it on the other side. So how you treat things that you hate has all to do with how you will treat things that you love, because it is the same vibration, just the opposite end of the spectrum. When we understand the law of polarity, you see the same thing with hot and cold. Heat can burn you, but also you can also get burned from coldness. There's something that's called frostbite. There's something that's called hot ice in science. This is certain things that is so cold that your body reacts to the same way as if it was burnt. Because what it deals with, it is the same frequency, but it's just a different degree. And so many times, the way how God will challenge us or test us is by seeing how we take care of or how we deal with it emotionally, the polarizing aspect of the thing that we want. Now, let me go a little further. The older prophets would always say that it is not good to want anything. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. The reason being because anything that you want, you will get the polarizing aspect. Because anything that you want or anything that you want or that you pull to you, the law of polarity has to work and it has to pull away from you. So if you take a rope and you pull the rope physically to you, over time, when you let go of it, it will move away from you by the same polarity and energy spent to pull it towards you. Anything that you push away from you, that you dislike, you will always pull it towards you.